Hello, I'm Amy Summers Kopp, and this is Megan Summers Glenn from the Kopp team and Remax to Claim Properties, and we are here with MariaDouglas, who is the development director at the Middleway House. So Maria, tell us about what the Middleway House does.
Yeah, so the Middleway House has been around in some iteration in Bloomington for over 50 years, and our mission is to support all survivors of domestic violence, sexual violence, and human trafficking.
Awesome, that's great. And so, what are things that the community can do to help the Middleway House currently?
Thank you for asking. It's actually happening right now. There's a donation coming in, but donations of any kind, anything that you can think of that a person would need, because a lot of times people come here with, the clothes on their backs because it's the timing, they can get out, they can't, don't want to alert anybody. Also, of course, menstrual supplies are always needed because that's something that we can't necessarily control, and they are very expensive. And then, housing items as well. So when we move people out to their own homes or into our transitional housing called the Rise, because it was just down the street, they need things to set up their homes as well.
So furniture, even?
Yes.
Okay.
And so in general, when somebody comes to the Middleway House, is there how long of a time period are they here?
So in shelter, you can stay for up to 6 months. And of course, it's not going to be like, hey, it's the 6, but we start trying, safety planning with people. We start trying to get resources for people. Some people don't have their identification. So we start that process because you can't really do anything, get a job, get a housing, without identification. And then in our transitional housing apartment building, people can stay up to 2 years.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So tell us, what is good about Bloomington and for your guys' type of business? What do you like about Bloomington?
Well, for here in Bloomington, there's always people that want to help. And I personally think, and I talk about this as much as possible, that there's enough time, treasure, and talent in this community to go around, right?
Yeah.
And I really believe it's overused, but it's overused for a reason. The better together.
Yeah.
I mean, look, you guys are you are in real estate. I'm in nonprofit, but we understand the intersectionality of you see people in their homes, you see people's homes, and just things that we take for granted and can partner on, like we are right now, bringing awareness, for your business, bringing awareness for this organization, and also, like I said, just better together. I was at an event this morning talking about the housing situation and the unhoused, and there are so many organizations there, city, county, nonprofit organizations, and I think if we all work together, then we can find solutions.
Do you find it hard in Bloomington because there are so many nonprofits to compete against?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be lying if I said that there wasn't this good old donor fatigue situation.
Yeah.
But again, and we have some great, for example, we have a development director. Breakfast once a month. Megan Neese from the Community Foundation kind of hosts it, and we have a whole calendar where we don't want to, compete. We don't want to, take away from anybody else. So we have a calendar that we look at when we're scheduling our events and things like that. So yeah,
I know it's hard because Bloomington is, I think, a very caring community, and but that's also led to there being lots of nonprofits, and I know that can be hard for nonprofits because you are competing for the same dollars, and so that was one of the reasons we do these different videos. A lot of them have been about businesses, but we're trying to come into the nonprofits, trying to make awareness for nonprofits that might not have as much awareness out in the community.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And we just had our Wrapped in Love event. So when you see the tree sweaters around, just please remember that is Middleway House. Yeah. This was the 12th year for it.
Oh, that's awesome.
And when I joined this organization in November of 22, I realized that not a lot of people realized that was a public a public art display to bring awareness to domestic violence, because October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, along with other very important causes as well. But that's we wear purple, or purple is the domestic violence awareness color, and so when you see those sweaters around town, that's what it's doing, amplifying the voices of survivors, letting people know what the resources are, just reminding that we need to wrap all survivors and everyone in love and sweaters.
Yes. I could use a sweater today.
Right.
It's chilly. So if people want to help with your cause in whatever way it is, through donations or financially, how should they reach out to you guys?
So we have our website. It's very clunky, but we're in the process of redoing it, but it's just middlewayhouse.org. We are on Facebook. We're on Instagram. You can reach out to me directly, and here's my cell phone. Don't prank me. Probably not a good idea, but anyway, 812-340-5925. Okay.
There you go. Well, great. So anything else you want to add, or Megan, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I've been thinking about our questions and how they're different here towards you than towards the businesses. But some things that are the same is like you as a person, what's driven you to this job, and what's your North Star in this job, what keeps you going.
Yeah, thank you for asking. As Amy and I have known each other for years, and I've always been a work in progress. And in the last 2 years, I feel like you'll never make it, you'll never stop learning, or I won't. But I feel like coming to myself and come back to nonprofit. I started in nonprofit. It's now Centerstone, but I managed a subacute residential facility for about 9 years called the Transitional Care Facility, and then I went in, for-profit organizations, and now I'm back. So I feel like I'm home. This is where my heart's always been. When I've led in different organizations, I've always led with that thought of how can we be a resource to people? How can we partner with individuals, organizations, and other businesses in town, just so we can all win, right? I think that there's enough time, talent, and treasure in this community that it can be a win-win for everybody.
Well, I know that everywhere she's worked, she's done an amazing job, and Middleway House is so lucky to have you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Did you have anything else?
No, just thanks for existing, and I just came into this job from being a teacher.
Yeah.
I just am in such admiration of people who dedicate their lives to serving others. So thank you for doing that. And thank you for everyone who does serve their lives to help better the children of our future.
Absolutely.
Everyone who's here now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.